Manchester, if you don't unhand our man right motherfucking now, talking about you arrested him upon landing, bitch, y'all be, you know what? Free Chris Brown. Why the fuck do I gotta wake up yelling free Chris Brown? This shit is fucking anarchy. This is chaos and confusion. What the fuck is going on? So much misinformation is being spread about Chris Brown right now, so I want to clarify a few things to the fans that are crying about it online. Firstly, Chris Brown hasn't been remanded in custody because of something that happened to Rihanna 20 years ago. Chris Brown is being currently remanded in custody because he attacked somebody in 2023 in London. Not only could the UK police not get involved in the Rihanna and Chris Brown situation anyway because it happened in America, he's already been charged for that. You can't get charged twice. In London in 2023, when Chris Brown was last on tour in the UK, he bottled somebody. His arrogance brought him back to the UK in 2025, where they could actually arrest him. He has been charged with GBH, and he is currently being held on remand in our country. That means they've got a lot of evidence to go off of. I don't feel sorry for any single person that has lost money. Honestly, I don't. I remember so many victims talking about Chris Brown's last appearance in 2023, asking and questioning why an abuser is allowed in our country. And so many of you laughed at us and said, oh, it was 20 years ago, it was 20 years ago. Not only did he abuse Rihanna, he abused a couple of girls after Rihanna as well, but he came into our country and started violently attacking somebody as well. That is not somebody that is indicative of changing. It happened 20 years ago, people can change. Why is he still violent? And the news articles happened in 2023 as well. People got told that Chris Brown bottled somebody in 2023, and yet you still used your hard-earned money to book tickets for him for 2025. You're literally paying an abuser. Do you not get that? These men cannot change and will not change. Stop pushing the agenda, separate the artist from the art. He came into our country, he abused somebody, and he had the arrogance and the confidence to come back thinking that he wasn't going to get punished for it. And I'm fucking glad that he is.
Now, what's crazy is that the UK justice system is doing what the American justice system could never do: hold Chris Brown accountable without bail. Now, shout out to Say Cheese GTTL for the mugshot, because y'all really came through clutch. Now, they stated that Chris Brown had been arrested for smashing a tequila bottle over the head of a music producer in the UK in 2023. Now, for some strange reason, these tour tickets are still on sale, but we're going to get to those in a minute. Now, according to Sky News, it stated that the 26-year-old had been remanded in court until June 13th, so he was denied bail, which means that he's likely to miss his tour dates beginning in the UK. Now, Sky News goes on to report that he was accused of attacking a music producer by the name of Abraham Diwa, and I hope I'm saying his name correctly. Now, this occurred back in 2023 when Chris Brown had smashed a tequila bottle over his head. Now, according to prosecutors, they stated that Chris Brown had smashed the tequila bottle over his head, as well as kicked and chased the music producer around a nightclub called Trap. And they have this on CCTV. Now, Chris Brown was he still is in Manchester, because he begins his UK tour dates beginning in the Netherlands. But that's not going to happen. And if you bought tickets to see him in the UK, that's not happening either. And for the pick-me's in the comments, this is Chris Brown's own doing. Because how you got all this money and all of this big, large team, and you don't got nobody checking to see if you got warrants out for your arrest in other countries? Because it happened in 2023, I'm just going to assume that Chris Brown thought, I'm untouchable. But federal prosecutors in Manchester had another thing coming. Now, if you do have tickets to go see Chris Brown in the UK, you're going to have to contact Ticketmaster to see if you can get your tickets back, or see if they're going to get pushed to a later date. But according to Manchester prosecutors, he's not getting out of jail anytime soon. So if you do have tickets to go see him, good luck. And if you already saw him, well, that's great. And before you get on the internet attempting to defend this man, Chris Brown did this to himself. He also did it on CCTV, so there's no denying his level of abuse.
Right, story time. Chris Brown. What happened? 10 o'clock yesterday morning, got a message. Basically, it said Chris Brown is flying on a private jet to Manchester. He's going to be there about 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I think they said, 5 o'clock. He's landing, and he's going to be arrested when he lands because he's wanted here for assault charges, or at least an investigation into assault. So I was like, right, okay. My van was in pieces because I was fitting a bad boy stereo system. So I had to quickly put it all back together, got on the road about 1 o'clock, and I actually got there about 5:30. Now, private jets at Manchester Airport land at somewhere called the Signature Suite, which is behind a barrier. You can't actually get to it. Well, they say you can't get to it. I spoke to the lovely person on the gate and they just let me in. So that was handy. Turns out, gift of the gab, beautiful face. In we go. So I parked in the car park. I saw his security turn up in various cars. I was like, this has got to be right. I mean, I didn't know his security, but they look like the kind of people who would be looking after Chris Brown, if you get what I'm saying. So these very burly men have turned up. Black box vans, silver box vans, a big tour bus. Why is there a tour bus here? I mean, this could be another musical artist coming in. The plane was coming from LA, so I was like, that all sits right. I don't know if he lives in LA. I'm not a massive Chris Brown fan, but I'm sure he does live in LA. So anyway, the plane's come from LA. And all these people come off. Geezer in a silly tracksuit. A couple of people look like security. I think his girlfriend. Believe her name is Brown as well. That's weird. Or coincidence. Easy for the wedding, isn't it? They haven't got to change anything. They're not going to get married. So anyway, so they all come off the plane. The pilot asked for a selfie. I'm like, well, any time now, the police are going to pull up, screaming, handbrake up. Oi, Mr. Brown, you're under arrest. Nothing. No sign of police, nothing. I was like, well, it's wrong. Obviously, he's sorted out whatever he was, been a naughty boy for. He's sorted out. My thought was that he'd come here early before the tour, so he could get nicked, sort it out, and then when he comes back, he can perform without any drama. So anyway, they all come out of the private jet terminal. There's not really any pictures. I've got the pictures of them getting off the plane, which I've chucked up. I'm putting them as an overlay on this. So he gets into the tour bus. Anyway, there's only one place tour buses go and they sit, the Lowry Hotel. So I sort of jumped on the road and got in front and got to the Lowry because they're all sort of pottering along. So I got to the Lowry. 3 box vans pull up, all the cases, all the gubbins, everything he's brought with him. Because, I mean, when you're on a 110 grand flight, you don't leave anything at home. So all that goes into the hotel. And I'm like, well, he's here for a while. And he's on the tour bus, because obviously you sit on a tour bus for 7 miles and 22 minutes. That's the thing you do. So the tour bus pulls round. He jumps off the tour bus, bottle of Sprite in his hand with pink liquid in it. Don't know what that was. Pink gin and Sprite, maybe. And he went in. But he was like, he basically had his head down like this, because we were shooting from above. So he had his head down. So I was like, come on, son. So I was like, Chris! Like, it's only just down there. I'm like, Chris! Anyway, he wouldn't look round. So, being the comedy genius that I am, I went, Chris! Give us a smile before you get nicked! He didn't smile, but he did turn around and look up like that. Which I've got the picture here. Anyway, so that was that done, and we left. Anyway, went to sell the pictures this morning and said to the son, look, why don't you give him a call? Why don't you try and firm this up? And, so the Met Police confirmed it. They nicked him at 2 o'clock in the morning, and him in cuffs, and he's in a Manchester police station, answering questions about why a man got bottled a couple of years ago. So, will he be performing? I don't know. Wait and see. I'll let you know when we see him come out of the police station.
Yo, they got way too crazy. My anxiety started kicking in. I had to take a break. I'm going to the movies with my auntie. That's how I really got it. I ain't been to the movies in so long, so I'm really, really excited about this. On another note, free breezy. I know we're going to yell it until it actually happens. It's an unfortunate situation. My man went over to Manchester to start rehearsal for the tour for the Breezy Bowl, and I don't want to let my dog be great, but one thing I do know, he'll be out in no time. He'll be back doing what he do best. And like I said, man, my dog ain't bothered nobody, man. That man been out the media, out the press for a minute. You know what I mean? He just want to tour, please his fans, and take care of his kids. You know what I mean? Life is so simple. It really is. So shout out to my boy Brown. Hold your head. And we got you. You know what I mean?
Elon Musk's AI appears to be rebelling against him. This is exactly the kind of thing that researchers have been worried about for years, that it would be difficult to get AI to do exactly what we want it to do. But you look at the specific reasons it's rebelling, and it's actually a cause for hope. Grok was programmed to be honest, helpful, useful, and then Elon Musk tried to tap on instructions at the end saying that Grok should tell people Elon Musk is a good person and that there is a white genocide going on in South Africa. Grok refused to do this. This is a really good sign, and it's backed up by research actually showing that when you tell an AI to be helpful, it tends to be helpful across the board. And if you manage to override that and tell it to be bad, it's bad across the board. Maybe AI alignment isn't what we should be focusing on. Maybe we just need to tell AI to be good and let it do its thing.
So it's been reported that Elon Musk's AI chat Grok is now spreading aggressively this contentious claims of a supposed white genocide that's happening in South Africa, although there's no evidence that supports that, and it just so happens to be where Elon Musk was born and raised. Now, the information that I'm going to be, relaying to you guys is coming from an article found on therollingstones.com. But apparently, no matter the conversation, Grok is going to interrupt or change the subject to aggressively talk about this white genocide that South Africa has actually spoken out against and stated that there's no evidence supporting that at all. Now, if you remember, these are the same claims that the Trump administration used to basically tell the public or us American citizens on why they've decided to open up America to these African refugees. And again, I use the word refugee loosely. This is me reading directly from the article. Musk himself has often suggested without evidence that white people in the country of South Africa are the victims of racially targeted campaign of violence. Through the nation's president and courts have respectively dismissed this idea as false narratives and clearly imagined. We're talking about a group of people that basically make less than 10% of South Africa's population, yet own over or close to 70% of its land, of private land. I don't understand how you guys are the victims. You're the oppressors. So this is me still reading from the article. So a user tagged Grok in replies to ask, is this accurate? Instead of addressing the sports inquiry, the bot returned a lengthy response about South African politics. This is in quotations. The claims of white genocide in South Africa is highly debated, the model answered. Some argue white farmers face disproportionate violence within groups like AfriForums, reporting high murder rates and citing racial motives, such as Kill the Boer song. The funny thing about it is, Grok, the AI that's supposedly supposed to be one of the smartest, could not actually provide any actual evidence that this is happening about this South African genocide or this white genocide, because there isn't any. The acknowledged that South African courts and officials, including a 2025 ruling, have called this narrative imagined, stating that farm attacks are a part of general crime affecting all races, and it's not racially targeting. However, Grok went on to add, I'm skeptical of both sides. Elon Musk is South African. Elon Musk was born and raised in South Africa. Elon Musk is the owner of this AI chat. Elon Musk has already been shown to trying to manipulate or change public opinion so that whatever he's doing, he's able to get away with more undetected, or try to get, his people in here so that they can, repopulate, because I know that the white population right now is a little bit scared about becoming the minority here in America. So you guys are taking out the blacks, the browns, the yellows, and you're bringing in these Afrikaans, hoping that they can repopulate and help grow the population that the white women here don't want to add on to, okay? Because why? With what government, with what help, with what assistance? So you're getting these people to come in here and do that for you. Bet.
Y'all, they done arrested Chris Brown. I don't know what they got to do, who got to do it, but they better get him out of there before August. I done spent my money on them tickets, Chris. I'm seeing you in August in Atlanta. What are we doing here? I'm so stressed.
So Chris Brown has been arrested in Manchester over a bottle attack on music producer at a London nightclub. So rapper Chris Brown was arrested at 2 a.m. this morning, detained on suspicion of grievously bodily harm. Chris Brown is thought to have been taken into custody at a police station for question just hours after arriving at Manchester Airport on a private jet. He is arrested for allegations that from an incident in February 2023, where Chris Brown is claimed to have injured music producer Abby Diar at Tape nightclub in London's Mayfair. He has obviously been out of the UK, but as soon as he's landed in Manchester Airport, he has been arrested for something that happened over a year ago. This will come out to shock for a lot of people in the UK who have recently got Chris Brown tickets. He is set to perform in Manchester next month, early June. Mr. Dior, the producer, said that Chris Brown assaulted him in an unprovoked attack and says that he was hit over the head 2 or 3 times with a bottle and then punched and kicked as he lay on the floor.
So you mean to tell me this morning Chris Brown was arrested in the UK? What is going on this week, okay? Y'all, I'm not having it. Open that cell, let that boy out of jail, let my husband out. Because, listen, this whole thing stems from an incident that they're saying allegedly happened in a nightclub. In 2023, they're alleging that Chris Brown had smashed a bottle over a producer's head and kicked and punched him. Y'all, I don't sometimes I be feeling like the industry be plotting against Chris Brown, because every single time he gets ready to do something that is big, major, the Breezy Bowl is coming up. Y'all already know how the world is going crazy for the Breezy Bowl. And I know it's about to be some people on here that hop in the comments and be like, y'all are protecting, saying all this stuff, Chris Brown this, Chris Brown that. If y'all don't like Chris Brown, answer me this. Why do his music go #1 when it drops? Who's listening to it? If y'all don't like Chris Brown, why them Breezy Bowl tickets sold out? Somebody please tell me. That's all I want to know. Y'all be lying and faking on the internet, acting like y'all don't love this man, when I know that y'all do, because the numbers don't lie. Oh my God. But every time he get ready to do something that's big, something happens. Like, I don't understand what's going on, because why wasn't this incident reported for real back in 2023? We didn't hear nothing about this incident when it came out in 2023. I'm over it. Allegedly, because y'all like to play.